What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Timothy Hannick. Here's part 3. Now, unfortunately, I can only upload about 2 videos at a time. I'm only going to do this part 3 for now until tomorrow. I'm going to try to read some more tomorrow after my chemo treatment, if I feel up to it. If not, then the rest of it will have to come later. So anyway, taking part after where I was at from the last video. My grandma's sister said that she... Wait, what the hell? Okay. I have no idea what that word was supposed to be. Oh, said, I think. My grandma's sister said that she, as in my grandma needs to make me go. Oh, okay. Sorry, everybody, about that. See, like I said, only I can figure out what I wrote. Basically, what's going on right now is the fact that what took place, talking about staying at my grandma's during the weekends and stuff. There was a day where she told me that her and her sister, because they lived together until her sister died, after this car accident happened, which is what is going on. We were going to an ice cream store that stayed up until like 10 o'clock at night or something. It's closed now, but this was years ago. While we were driving, we were all talking about life and about what we're going to do the next day. I was... Really? Oh, shirtless, sockless, and shoeless in the back seat with no working seatbelts. Just as I was about to say Mom, which was my nickname for my grandma, some drunk driver ran right into the back end of the car. The car flipped over a ditch, and I can still remember the car rolling as all the windows were breaking all around me, covering me with glass from head to toe. Yeah, I can honestly remember all that. Just seeing the whole freaking, like the whole world basically just rolling and rolling and rolling. And I don't know how this gravity thing works scientifically, but I mean, it was pretty crazy and scary. I opened my eyes to look around at my surroundings just to realize seconds later that we were all upside down. Well, at least my grandma, sister, and I was. My grandmother was crushed underneath the car. I don't know if the door opened or something while it was rolling, but she fell out somehow and the car flipped upside down and landed right on her, crushed her back, broke her spine into pieces. I didn't mention this in the story, but when I went to go check up on her, I didn't know what was said. I know she was awake, but I don't know what the conversation between her, me, and my mom was at that time. I ended up going home and took some medications for pain if I needed it from what the doctor gave my mom. I went home, got glass pulled out of my back, and I'm basically going through all this super fast without actually reading details. But yeah, I got glass that was stuck in my butt and in my back that my mom and dad had to hold me down and pull the glass out because the doctors somehow managed to miss some of the glass from my back. So anyway, I was rushed to the ambulance. My and I was asked the same questions like 3 to 5 times or more. What's your name? Where are you from? This and that, making sure I didn't like lose my memory or whatever, I guess. I don't know. But this was all when I was about 11 or 12 years old. Uh, so yeah, pain. I was given pain pills. Let's see. Okay, I already talked about glass being pulled out of my back and butt. Because obviously no one at the hospital knew apparently that I had leftover glass inside me, so that sucked. Okay. I'm just trying to find my place now. Okay, so in my story here, I don't recall what was said at that given time when I went to check on my grandmother after the car accident happened. And to do a little rewind check back to the age of 8, which was a time where I did still steal, like I took something without permission, one little bag of Glushers from my neighbor. Legitly, that's the only thing I've ever stolen in my whole life. Around the age of 10, I believe, I would go fishing in the neighbor's pond for fun when I was really bored. One time, my dad told me to go catch a fish at the neighbor's pond and bring it back to clean and cook. I told him with a smile that I won't let him down, so I ran off with some fishing equipment. Basically, like, I don't know what some kind of that string thing with hooks that you put around their mouth or gills. Or I don't know how that stuff works. I haven't went fishing in a while. Last time I went fishing was at a campsite with my fiance and her family, and from there I had to learn how to grab a fish and remove the hook. I mean, it's been that long. I couldn't remember how to do any of that. It's pretty sad. I know, but it is what it is. Uh, for about 1 hour, for about an hour, I was fishing, couldn't catch anything, so I decided to quit. I didn't. Um, so I walked back home, empty-handed. I was really sad because I let my dad down when I was 11 or 12. Not totally sure how old to be honest, but it was one of the two ages. My sister and I were sick and tired of moving back and forth between our mom and dad's place at this time. Our parents were getting a divorce. My mom moves in with her boyfriend Jeremiah, which I hated for no reason at all. That is the honest truth. I felt like he was trying to take my father's place, and I didn't like that, so I always gave him a hard time. My dad got himself a apartment in Orwell. That's when I went to Grand Valley School. At least when I was with my dad. What I was trying to say there is when I was going to Grand Valley is when I was living with my dad. Before going back and forth between my mom and dad. When I was with my mom, I was going to Lakeview. I'm not 100% sure if that was the school, but I'm pretty sure that was the school I was going to when I went back home with my mom, between split custody and stuff. And don't ask how that works. I don't know. I really don't know how I went from one school for a month or two back to another one. It was very confusing. I do recall the teachers and the principals calling the other school saying, okay, what were you doing with this student? How far is he, as far as math and stuff? What does he know and whatnot? It's really confusing at that point in time. Because my mom and dad both fought like crazy to get us kids into with them. So it was a struggle. So anyway, my father had a girlfriend, but I don't know her name. That woman was nice, but her daughter wasn't. Her daughter was a big mouth. She would tell me on me every chance she got. Every time I did something wrong, she always ran off to not my mom, my dad or her mom, and say, "Tim's doing this, Angel's doing that." Angel's my sister, but yeah, it was crazy. She told on us every chance she had. I remember one winter I was having a snowball fight. Then she came out to bother me and my sister. I got mad about it, so I decided to pee on a snowball and throw it at her. She ran inside to tell on me, but I didn't care. I still laughed about it. I spelled light instead of laugh. Okay, that's just how my brain works, I guess. I still laughed about it. Because my dad had to work before us kids went to school, he paid this old lady who was very sweet to us all a little bit of money every week, I think, to feed us and make sure we had everything we needed for school. So yeah, once every week my dad would get paid because I think he was working at Craftmate at the time before he got arrested. And yeah, this lady, she would make cinnamon toast, which was really good. We were watching TV. She would make hot chocolate for us, uh, or chocolate milk, whichever we decided to have. Looking back now, I miss that. I mean, I kind of just went through all that without reading it. But yeah, my dad would pay this lady once a week a little bit of money to make sure we went on the bus because my dad had to leave about 20 minutes before we went on the bus. Okay, so later on in life, years after, I did talk to that big mouth girl, but at that time, she was really sweet and kind. Which was very, like, I ran into her on Facebook, and she remembered me, but I couldn't remember her not very well. And we were just talking, but then we only talked for the one day, and then I never heard from her again, which kind of sucks. Eventually, my sister and... Ow. Cracked my thumb. Eventually, my sister and I came clean and told our mom what has been happening for years, for the 4 years that things were going on, about our father raping us, raping us both. My mom didn't believe it, but still went to the police about it. Then my sister and I got questioned like crazy. Yeah, that was ridiculous what the police had to ask us. So yeah, we were questioned by the police. To make a long story short, my dad turned, sorry, my dad turned himself in due to the guilt he felt. How much time do I got? A little bit. He could have gone away with it because the police couldn't find enough proof that he did anything. Yeah, my dad, they did like a background check, didn't find any rapists or anything in his family, so they're like, well, we don't see why he would possibly go off and, rape anybody if his family doesn't have any, if no one in his family did that sort of thing. And, that's just something that sucks. If kids are getting molested or whatever, they always look at, well, let's check his background, let's check his family background, let's see if anyone has done anything, and if they can't find anything on anyone, they don't do shit after that, and that pisses me off, to be honest. But my dad did turn himself in. He could have got away with it because he never punctured me or my sister, so we were both virgins and everything. So he could have honestly gotten away with it, but thankfully the guilt got the best of him. So I'm going to leave it there. If you enjoyed this video, which hopefully not because it's sad, just like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Peace.